and that part will come up next week. So we did that and did a little bit of casting. In fact, today I got yet another wad cutter mold. I gotta knock that off. Somebody stop me. But an old Lee mold that's pretty uncommon showed up on eBay for 41 mag. Lyman makes one that I have, wad cutter for 41 mag. We already did the review of that one, but this is the Lee 410 208 WC, single cavity rod and groove type, lock up on it. And it was rusty as all get out when I got it, but I cleaned up and cast it pretty good, did a good job. So I'm going to go out and shoot those next week, see how they do. But yeah, good week all in all around these parts. Had some good news, good 2A news for California. We've had this, you can only have one gun every 30 days, and that got struck down permanently yesterday, I think it was. So
very cool.
They can't come back on it now. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. So next we got to get through our magazine ban.
And that was from the Ninth Circuit, isn't it?
Yeah. That was the first time ever that they had a decision like that. In the 2A realm ever. It was a big news. Ninth Circuit is a huge circuit. I mean, it goes all the way up to Alaska. It covers a lot of the West, and those guys are.
And they're not really gun friendly.
No, not at all. But I think we've kind of had them over a barrel, and they had to admit that, yeah, it's not constitutional. You can't tell a person how often they can practice a constitutional right. So anyway, so that was all good. We had a good week out here in California. Fire is almost to the point where we could call it under control. They got lying around 65% of it today, and most of their efforts are up at the head of the fire, and they conducted a huge backfire so that they could get out ahead of it and meet the fire on our own terms instead of trying to play catch up all the time. So they're gonna get it done.
Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire.
Oh yeah. How about you, Rebel? How'd it go for you this week, bud?
Wet. We've got an unprecedented amount of rain in the past while, and it's just wet. Can't get anything done outside. So started working up a load for that 308 that I told you about, and surprised how long the chamber is in that Remington, considering Sammy specs are 2.18, and kind of make me raise my eyebrows a little bit and said, well, I won't be touching the lands with any bullet there. And I guess if I used a 220 Match King, I could probably do it, but I was using a 168 and being realistic about shooting. So I don't know. We'll see how they shoot. I'm about 6 thousandths longer than a Federal gold medal match bullet. We'll just start randomly there and go from there, and I'll keep you all informed on how that goes if I ever get a chance to shoot. It's hard to do when you're walking on webbed feet. That's right. Kyle, how's your week?
My week was good. I actually got a bunch of stuff done on my couple of days off. Canned a bunch of pasta sauce and salsa and potatoes. We're in the exact opposite weather pattern. We can't buy good rain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's bad. The grass is all crunchy, and it'll rain just enough to make you have to go outside and mow it. But when you go outside, it's 100 degrees and humid. So,
no good.
But I did get a bunch of quarts and pints and half pints on the shelf, so that was good. Other than that, that's what we're doing. Jamie, what'd you do this week?
You don't want to know, bro.
Fair enough.
I've been at home. My wife is staying with her mom. My mother-in-law is very, very, very sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Lisa's staying with her, hospice and all that. So if I am suddenly gone, or if you don't see me one of these next few Friday nights, that's pretty much why. So,
Damn,
but
brother.
hey, you know what? The show must go on. So CW and Hillbilly and Viejo and probably Bama Dad still be up here. I'm sure Six will show up, but yeah, y'all can keep going in my absence. But there's Jim Ashby over on the Rumble side. We got Jim Ashby is out there. The Mountain Man's out there. Steve Mann. Somebody else was out there over there earlier too. So we're so proud that you can be here. And y'all want to talk a little bit? Boom's got a new handle this week, the Skillet Liquor. I told him that's all good because you don't need to waste any of that gravy, right?
Or bacon grease either.
Thank you, Bulldog. I appreciate you. So, all you guys over on the Rumble side, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, we appreciate y'all as well. And I think I got a bunch of videos I need to move over there because, yeah. You all know why. Same reason Boom tonight is called the Skillet Liquor, right? There's a direct correlation there. Y'all want to talk a little bit about Samuel Colt and some of his firearms?
He's got a couple.
One or two.
Yeah. Andy's got one there. No, that's not a. That's not a
Smith.
detective. That's a Smith.
That's a Colt.
I thought it was a Colt when I look closer. It's a 36.
No,
I
mine.
think. Here's a
Mine
Colt.
is. It's an 1860.
Y'all remember last time we talked about Colts? It's been a couple of weeks now. We were talking about the Walker, which came out in what year was that? 1848.
Beats me. I don't remember.
In 1848, Colt was able to start again with a new business of his own. And in 1855, he converted it into a corporation under the name of Colt's Patent Firearms Manufacturing Company in a place called Hartford, Connecticut. You know where that is, CW?
Yeah, it's just up the road, about 20 miles.
So Colt purchased this large tract of land by the Connecticut River, and he built this first factory in 1848. And a larger factory called the Colt Armory in 1855, and a manor that he called Armsmere in 1856. So he had this. He had like this compound. He had employee tenement housing. He had his own house was right there close by. He built this thing he called the Charter Oak Hall, which is a club where his employees could games and read the paper, and he had little rooms where they could go in there and smoke and discuss the events of the day and all that crap. But this was obviously after business hours because he ran a military-like establishment. he would fire workers for tardiness or for subpar work, or get this, or even suggesting improvements to his designs, right? So that tenement housing thing, he called it Coltsville, and modeled the homes after a village near Potsdam, Germany. And the purpose was he wanted to attract skilled German workers. And anyway, so between the Patterson, which come out in 1836, well, actually before the Patterson in 1835, he had patents in England for the same design, and he got them. He got 2 patents on the Patterson in 1836 in America. He had one in 1835 in England. Well, all this to say that after the Walker, and I think there was a gun between the Patterson and the Walker, and that's what Colonel Walker was interested in. And he, my understanding is, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, that Walker, back then it was called the Texas Volunteers. He wanted it in a bigger caliber. And that they kind of worked together to do the Walker thing. And business started picking up after that. See, between 1836, when the Patterson came out, and when the Walker came out, he was pretty much out of business. He was doing stuff like working on laying pipelines across the Atlantic Ocean, or telegraph lines, telegraph lines, I think. So he did all kind of stuff. And it all started because Colt's dad had a textile mill, and he saw all of these, all this machinery going on. And anyway, Colt built this factory in England. I think it was, it started production on January 1st of 1853. And Charles Dickens even took a tour and included some comments about Colt's revolvers in the 1854 edition of Household Words. This is the thing that we forget about Colt. He kind of pioneered this idea of mass production of parts and interchangeability. And there was this thing called what they call it. Anyway, it was a big show at Hyde Park in London, the Great Exhibition of 1851. That's what it was. And he took 10 guns to this place, and he disassembled them, and then he matched all the parts, and then put them back together, and they all worked. So this thing that we attribute to Henry Ford, Colt was doing what, 50, 60 years before Henry Ford was doing it, the assembly line techniques.
Yeah, and he wasn't abusing everybody else that was supplying stuff for him either.
So in 1854, after he opened this plant in England, the British Admiralty ordered 4,000 Navy model Colt revolvers. And then the next year, the British Army placed an order for 5,000 for an Army issue. But he never could get the British Army or the British military to to adopt his revolvers as the standard sidearm for the Army. And so he began to realize that British sales were failing, and it was expensive to run that factory. So he closed that London factory in 1856. And over the next few months, the workmen crated up and shipped all the machinery and disassembled firearms back to America. Then in 1854 to 1856, there was this thing called the Crimean War, and Colt's firearms were used on both sides. So he made pretty good money. Back to that Walker. Six, did we talk about the fact that Samuel Colt and Eli Whitney Jr. made those at Whitney Works, Whitneyville Armory?
I don't remember you talking about it.
Yeah. He was out of the business at that time. So maybe there wasn't another pistol, another revolver between the Patterson and the Walker.
Yeah, it was Eli Whitney's son, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli Whitney of the Cotton Gin fame. So these Navy model Colt revolvers came out in 1854. The British Navy bought some, and the British Army made some. So these guys, man, that Colt armories there in Hartford, some of the guys that came out of there, Henry Leland, who ended up at Cadillac and Lincoln, Edward Bullard Sr. of the Billard firm, and Pratt and Whitney, Worcester R. Warner, and Ambrose Swayze of Warner and Swayze. They all worked there. That's how they got their start. But one thing that we did talk about a little bit was this guy named Rollin White, who was a Colt employee in 1852, came up with having the idea of having a revolving cylinder bored through to accept metallic cartridges. Y'all remember us talking about that?
Yep.
And
Yes,
Samuel Colt didn't want nothing to do with it. But in November 17th of 1956, White signed an agreement with Smith & Wesson. And then the next year, 1857, Smith & Wesson's Model 1, a rear loader, came out. But he couldn't really enjoy what he'd come up with. He was always fighting in court. And then we get down to the 1860. Colt produced a new revolver model for the United States Army. This Colt Army Model 1860 appeared just in time for the American Civil War. So we had the 1861 Army, and I believe it was a 44 or a 45 caliber, and then the 1861 Navy, which was a 36 caliber, I believe. Am I saying that correctly?
I believe so.
I believe you are.
So when the Civil War started, the New York Daily Tribune denounced Colt and his company. they printed in their paper, the traitors have found sympathizers among us, men base enough to sell arms when they knew they would be in the hands of the deadly enemies of the Union. Colonel Colt's manufactory can turn probably 1,000 a week and has been doing so for the past 4 months for the South. Oh, yeah. Despite secession and growing tensions between the North and the South, Colt's sales to Alabama, Virginia, Georgia, and Mississippi in 1860 alone were at least $61,000. What do
Wow.
y'all think? Well, $61,000, that ain't a whole lot of money. That's 2 Toyota Camrys, right? Well, in 1860, it was worth about $3.35 million.
That's a lot of pistols.
So he was selling to to individual states, not to the federal government.
Why is the chat stuck on my screen?
Been wondering about that too.
Well, since you didn't have your camera on, there is an option for everybody to see the chat on screen. So, like, the people from Rumble can't see YouTube's back and forth. And so, since you didn't have your camera on, I put the chat on screen. So
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Okay.
I can take it off though too.
No, that's fine. Leave it there.
Well, anyway, it's time for us to call out. Let me finish this up, and we'll get to a point where, obviously, the American Civil War was a boost to all firearm manufacturers, not just Samuel Colt and Colt Manufacturing Company. But he was torn, and he took a lot of grief. And he passed away during the Civil War at the relatively young age of, I think it was 47.
Wow. Yeah.
He died of rheumatic fever on January 10th, 1862. And Elisha K. Root took over as Colt's company president. On February 4th, 1864, before the end of the war, a fire destroyed most of the factory, including arms, machinery, plans, and factory records. On September 1st, 1865, Root died, leaving the company in the hands of Samuel Colt's brother-in-law, Richard Jarvis. The company's vice president was William B. Franklin, who recently left the Army at the end of the Civil War. With the Civil War over and having no new military contracts, Colt's manufacturing was forced to lay off over 800 employees. And they were teetering. So that gets us to the end of the war. Colt's now passed on. We can sit here and say Richard Jarvis and William Franklin and all these other people. The person who was running Colt manufacturing at the time was Colt's wife. So there, I said it.
She was the financier, the money keeper.
Well, yeah, she still had all Samuel's money, and she did well, I think. Okay, so what we're going to type in tonight, Walter?
It's got to be Colt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Got to be.
This is really fun. I'm telling you. I really and truly, every time I feel like we don't really have that good of a topic, or I haven't had time to do research and that kind of stuff, and my heart really ain't in it because of what's going on with family and stuff. I get in here and guys, y'all are awesome. Thank you.
I still don't own a for real Colt revolver. I've got a Colt 1911, but I've got several clones, Colt clones, you know, the Ubertis, and I've got an 1860 cap and ball, and I've got
It was a really,
some of the
really
single
nice,
action armies.
real nice 6-inch Python in a case the other day. I met Ricky in a presentation case for 3450.
Yeah.
They had some at the show this past weekend, and one of my coworkers went and he goes, "Why are those so high?" I go, "Because they're made a long time ago." It was a good.
Yeah, this was probably unfired, unturned, probably something special.
They were all up.
That's a big number.
Yeah,
I
they was
see
all
them,
up in that number.
you know, $2,000 range, pretty regular, 22.
If I may, real quick, I want to tell y'all about something that I'll probably be sending pictures of to some of you. One of my customers, not going to say a name for obvious reasons, we were talking about Western gear and Western rifles and pistols, and he said, yeah, my son got into cowboy action shooting and started talking to a big gun dealer in Charlotte. And he told the gun dealer in Charlotte that I had a 1873 Winchester. And the gun dealer in Charlotte said, "Oh, what, a replica?" And he said, "No." He said, "My dad's great granddaddy gave it to him." And the gun dealer's eyes lit up, of course. And he said, "What caliber is it in?" He said, 4440. And he said he's got a Colt revolver too. And he said, "Do you know the year of manufacture?" He said, "Dad always said it was 1873. It's in 4440. He said, "The serial numbers are only 3 digits." And the customer's telling me this, the daddy. And he talks like this. So he said, "I took it down there to Charlotte just to find out what it was worth." He said, "And that old gun dealer, he looked at that thing and he looked at that thing, and I told him, don't even bother to give me a price about buying it. I just want to know what it's worth." He said, "Well, he pulled up books and he looked at his computer and he said, I tell you what," he said, "I'll give you $10,000 for that pistol." He said, "Son, I done told you, it ain't for sale. My great grandpappy gave me that pistol. I just want to know what it's worth." Like that, he wouldn't ever tell him. He just offered $10,000. And I looked at my customer and I said, "I can tell you what it's worth." And I said, "But you got to bring it in and let me look at it. I want to put my hands on it." And he said, "You just want to finger my pistol?" And I went, "Yes, sir. I want to fool around with your lady." And he grinned real big. He said, "I'll bring it sometime." And he said, "I got it hid real good." He said, "I'll bring that and the rifle." So I'm hoping that I get to take pictures of this and present that to y'all. I know CW, Jamie, Walter, a lot of you find that really, really cool. That the fact that the great granddaddy passed them on and they're from the 1800s. So, and the Colt is actually first year. So,
he might have bought it new.
I'd love to see that serial number be 0 something something. That would really be awesome. You know,
That would be
and for it to be in North Carolina is even weirder. You know, I mean, you'd think you'd find that in Texas or Montana or something like that.
No, you got to remember where these things were built. They were made in Connecticut.
That's right. That's right.
So let me call out the side chat, and y'all remind me to say something. And I already forgot what it was, so never mind. Anyway, Walter came up with what we were going to say, what we're going to type in, and he was in first, and that was 6 minutes ago. So Walter's in first. CW Longshot was second. Kyle was third. Andy was fourth. Bama Dad was next. And Texas 6 was after that. And y'all know, and Mike Hester was after that. And they are all on the panel. And that's the reason they beat all the rest of y'all, because of the delay kind of thing. Hillbilly up, Bobby Barlow. Hillbilly's on the panel too. We're glad to have him. Alaska 1, Andy. Christian Grest. What's going on, buddy? Dwayne 7834. Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog. Ozzy Osborne. M. Gabriel 01 guy. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. What's going on, buddy? Old Skillet Liquors out there. New Takes I Can. Dale Pogue. Hillbilly up. We'll just put that one up there. Mr. Bob Bobalina, 4 Colts. COLT. And I reckon that's all.
Hey, Billy, you nasty. You nasty.
Early Colts were black powder only, is what Fuzz says.
He'd be right.
Yep.
And
Say my name.
that's what that pistol is. Black powder only.
I don't think Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog likes me calling him Senior Master Sergeant.
Just
Okay,
don't
Chuck.
call me for dinner.
I need to go out and see him. I'm overdue a trip to New Orleans. Service Venator is out there. Okay, Kyle, you can be second. All right. Now I'm trying to think of what I was going to say.
Give us some good news.
Yeah. It's almost like you're walking down the hall trying to remember what the heck did I come down in here for? And then you
I
can't
do
remember.
that all the time.
Yeah. I usually stop myself and say, why are you asking yourself? I said, you didn't know.
Why are you asking me?
Usually when I do that, I'm like, well, I might as well go pee. I'm halfway there. You know?
But yeah.
So-
Maybe, and that could have been the reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Brother.
Yeah, since you was up.
I heard this talking about that, Walter. I heard this once, and so I tried it, and it actually worked. But when you're walking through a doorway or into a hallway, and you lose your train of thought, they say you can back up into the room you were before, and just wait a few seconds, and sometimes it'll come to you.
Well, Jamie didn't leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work for him.
no,
Sometimes thoughts just poof out into space, and you have to wait until they settle back down.
This is the way I've explained it to people. My memory has issues and stuff for certain reasons, and I tell them, look, my brain is like an iceberg. There's only room for so many penguins. So if I learn something new, one penguin's got to jump off. So I got to ask myself, is this worth remembering? Am I going? Because I might lose a very important penguin.
There was some sad
If
news.
you surf the
in the
internet,
2A. There was some sad
that,
news in the
Six?
2A, Powder Valley.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that I saw the pictures. That fire was bad.
Oh,
Wait, what?
yeah.
Well,
Powder Valley
I mean-
burnt down.
Oh no.
yeah,
They lost. So I got the emails from them, a couple of them, and it sounded like they still had a little bit of operational space in another warehouse. They lost most of their inventory though.
With this comment here by Ozzy, Ozzy, I heard California's only going to let you get a foot long once a month.
Yeah.
That's gonna work real well. Ain't it?
You can't get fries with that if you're on welfare, though.
you can get broccoli though.
And kale.
Yeah. Ugh.
Kale. That's it.
Oh, Kale.
I love kale with blue cheese. About 4 pounds of it.
You forget something, Rebel. The kale is the divider in the deli case. You're not supposed to eat it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they sell it for salad stuff. Sorry. They sell it as
Yeah,
a green.
that's what they decorated a meat case with.
Yeah.
I gotta say this about this comment right here. We're in Northwest Georgia, right? A long way from. I mean, it's 6 hours to the nearest beach. Okay. All right. Rome is the name of the town, and you think of Rome, Italy. So the Atlanta Braves owned our local
I know where you're going with
golf club. Okay. And so the Braves administration wanted all of its farm clubs to be known as that specific entity, not part of the Braves. And I don't really understand all of that. But yeah, they want all of their farm teams to have their own identity, really. And I think it's more of a merchandising type thing.
Yep.
Like Kyle will tell you, the AAA team is now in Gwinnett County, and they're called the Gwinnett Stripers because they're right there on Lake Lanier, kind of. So, anyway, Rome decided to be the Rome Emperors. Okay, so you got Rome connected to Italy, and I got more stories too. Y'all wouldn't believe. We actually have what they call there's a wolf statue downtown from Mussolini. It actually is a gift from Italy, from Mussolini. It is the absolute ugliest thing I have ever seen in my life, and it's on a pedestal right in front of City Hall downtown. Anyway, back to my story. So the emperors made them think of the emperor pigeons, penguins. So our mascot for our baseball team is an emperor penguin, and I actually have one of those T-shirts. I know that was a long way to say.
Guys, I got to bail out.
Okay.
Good night, Andy.
Got to do something.
See, Andy.
Thanks
Right,
for
Andy.
being here, Andy.
And
Have a good night,
Everybody
buddy.
have a great weekend.
All right, see you.
Good night, buddy.
A weekend? What's that?
Well, I'm sitting on-
Always talking about Wednesday and Thursday. I did have a great Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, he had to leave when I got here. I thought maybe I farted or something.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, right.
It was right above me.
Well,
Mellow web.
Good to see Dave Thorzak's out there.
Hello, Dave.
Chuck, you bugging out too, buddy? Oh, he said night, Andy.
you're just
My
saying
bad.
good night to Andy. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the
Yeah.
town my partner's from, Jamie, it's called Kaiser, Casar. And the only reason it's called Kaiser is some dumb butt redneck couldn't spell Caesar. And that's what they were going to name the town out of. And he left the E out. So it's Kaiser. Thank God. Everybody be bad with a bunch of drunk rednecks wearing togas.
And driving golf carts.
Yeah, that's
Ozzy,
right.
look at this. Ozzy's like, what's wrong with a wolf? Bark at the moon. Okay. I'm going to find a picture of the dang thing, and I'll show you what's wrong with it.
Yeah, Romulus
Jamie's-
and Remus, huh?
Yeah, Jamie said, don't look like no wolf.
Yeah. There's a town up in Alaska called Chicken, Alaska. I rode through it a couple of times on the motorbike. And there's dirt roads in and dirt roads out. And the only reason that it's called Chicken is the settlers there couldn't spell ptarmigan. That's a true story.
That's hilarious.
Ptarmigan.
Yeah.
Ptarmigan. Yeah. Chicken.
Surprised they didn't just call it Tern. Arctic Tern.
If you ever come to central Pennsylvania and go drive around down Lancaster Amish country, we've got Intercourse,
Yeah.
Blue Ball, and Bird in Hand.
Oh,
Been there.
That's hilarious.
I never heard of Blue Ball.
you got Climax, Virginia,
We got one of those
right
too.
on the border. Yeah.
Who thinks of that stuff, man?
There's
Then you got
there's one in
the
New York,
wonderful
too.
town near the. You got the wonderful town near our coast called Fuquay Varina, and I don't know what that means, but they're all kind of mispronunciations of Fuquay Varina that
sounds
are
like
nasty.
a disease.
it
Okay, are
it
y'all
does.
ready? Y'all ready for this?
Yeah, let me see
Okay.
it.
All right, Ozzy. I want you to remember you asked for this, brother.
I know what it is.
I
Yeah.
do too.
Romulus and Remus.
Get
See
some.
that building behind it? That is our city hall and city auditorium.
But you're absolutely right. That's got to be one of the ugliest representations of Romulus and Remus that I've ever seen. That's terrible. It's just ugly.
Well, thank
Damn,
goodness
my
there's
delay.
multiple teats and not just
can't
one.
see it.
Yes, grab a teat and suckle. The first time I ever saw that, I had no idea about that statue that it even existed. And we were in Rome for something and just walking around, and I was like, what the hell is that?
It's a pregnant wolf. Jeez. Yeah, I never saw that on no Ozzy Osbourne album.
Mama, I'm coming home.
Yeah. I'm sure you have room. There's plenty of teats there.
Lots of real estate.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Ozzy.
they,
Okay, in my mind, Mussolini's sitting over here, probably drunk, sitting there with Adolf Hitler. And they like, there's this town in Georgia in the United States
I know what I'll do.
called Rome. I'm going to send them the ugliest thing
Yeah.
and see if they actually put it up. And you know what? they did.
Get a load of this, Dolph.
I know, man. Hey, Ozark, what's
Jeez.
going on, Marvin?
You mentioned wildlife teats and up pops Marvin. Oh, it's going downhill quick.
I'm
Hey,
telling
Walter, did that town have a chicken with teats in Alaska?
No.
That's a new insult, you chicken teeth.
Yeah,
It's a rare and
It is.
unusual bird right there.
it is.
you.
Oh, may your chickens lactate forever.
Ozzy, that ain't all, man. Okay. He says his icon's the way it should be. And I agree. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when my mom was going through high school, we were called the Rome High Hilltoppers. And the Rome, you know, the 7 hills and the 3 rivers, right? So on top of one of the 7 hills was Rome High School. I mean, literally, it was on top of the hill. So it was the Rome High Hilltoppers. So they come up with the idea of, well, there's too many kids going up there, and the community is spread out so bad. So there you go. Count us down.
Are we ready? On 3, 2, 1.
Mario.
So
Most
Those
weirdo.
so they split Rome High Hilltoppers into West Rome Chieftains because Major John Ridge's home is right down there in the bend of the river. I mean, this was one of the major thoroughfares of the Cherokee Nation. Yeah, and the Cherokee capital was in Newachota, which was, what is that, about 30 miles from me and about 35 miles from you, Kyle?
Yeah.
Chatsworth,
Yep.
before you get to Chatsworth.
Good old Chats Vegas.
So it was the West Rome Chieftains and the East Rome Gladiators. That makes sense, right? You know, and I was an East Rome Gladiator. So 1990, they decide, well, there's not enough kids to support 2 high schools anymore, so we're going to congel them back. So from like 1958 to 1990, there were 2 high schools in town. Now there's only 1 city high school, and we have 4 county high schools, which is the system that I work for now. Anyway, so what's the new name for the Rome High School? What is their new mascot?
Hopefully not the Wolves.
I'm about to say wolf nipples.
It's the Wolves. Rome
It is.
High Wolves.
It is the wolves.
Please don't show that picture of that wolf. I mean,
Yeah, that
don't put
16
that
cup
on your
bra
baseball
needing-
jerseys.
Your rival high school ain't got no class at all if they don't steal that statue and go plant it in front of the new high school.
Ron 2A Matters, what's up, brother?
Hey, Ron.
So, yeah, I can't believe they did that. The Rome High Wolves.
Jamie, my high school was named, we were the Bandy's High Trojans. We were named after a condom, you know. I always
No,
like
you
to
are.
say they didn't name it that until after I went there, but you know, it's been named that a long time. We used to dig into the band room and we'd find old Spartan helmets and all kind of neat stuff. But I don't know what we do have a local high school in Lincoln County called the Lincoln County West Lincoln Rebels, and they had a man in a little gray suit. And just to be, as far as politically complacent, they knocked off the man in the little gray suit and kept the Confederate flag. and they made the Charlotte news, the big city news, and everything. They refused to call them anything else. So we've been the West Lincoln Rebels since the Civil War. That's by God what we're going to be. So
Good.
that's what they are.
The Roman Rubbers.
Yep.
What the heck?
So when
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
in
us.
school, our mascot was the Gladiators, and we actually had a guy, one of my friends at the time, Bill Brody. He would dress up as a gladiator, and one of our friends had horses, so
Oh,
he would
God.
actually ride the horse bareback out onto the football field before the football game started. And by the way, we won back-to-back championships in 1977 and 1978. State champs, East Rome High. But our crosstown rivals, y'all got to understand the East-West game was a big, hairy deal in Rome, Georgia back in the day. It was always downtown at Barron Stadium. They had to work out the schedule so that neither team had a home game the same weekend, or if they did, one had to play on Friday night, the other had to play on Saturday night. So they had the same home stadium, Barron Stadium downtown. And when they played each other, the last game of the year, you know, the track around the football fields, that would be lined all the way around from one set of bleachers to the other set of bleachers with portable bleachers, you know, like you have at a kids' baseball game. That would line the track too deep. And then on the south end of the stadium, the south end zone, across Second Avenue, there's the levee is there to keep the river in the banks so that the town won't flood when the spring rains come. That whole levee it wouldn't be nothing to have 10 to 15,000 people watching that football game on a Friday night back in the 70s and early 80s. But anyway, I digress. Y'all got me talking now about stuff that y'all don't care
It's
about
cool.
because y'all don't live here.
Oh, it's cool. Small town life.
It's
Remember
almost
the good
Friday Night
times.
Light season anyway.
Yep.
That's right.
I still live close enough to my high school where if it's a really good game, you can hear the fans from my house, and it's about 3 miles away.
Wow.
I live close enough to my daughter's high school. I can see the lights, but I can't hear the crowd. Maybe because they're losers. I don't know.
We're the home of Trevor Lawrence.
Mm.
We lost somebody.
Yeah, I'm surprised he ain't done better in the NFL. But he can't really stay healthy. If he's got a healthy season, I think he'll ball out.
Well, I don't think he needs to really worry about it. Him and his wife are set for life, so
Oh, yeah.
he's got to make some really bad decisions, and a bunch of them.
That has been done, Kyle.
I know. My son went to school with him, and my son wasn't into sports or anything like that. And he said, "You know that hot shot quarterback we got?" And I said, "Yeah, I've heard something about him." And then me and him went to a football game, and this kid was impressive. And he said, "He's actually my friend at school. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and I don't even play sports." I'm like, "Well, that's good to know, I guess."
See, Dwayne, that's exactly what Rebel was talking about. We can't speak and we can't spell.
My high school in Western Pennsylvania had a pretty good football team. And we had cheerleaders big enough they could fill in as the second string.
Oh,
When they collapsed the pyramid, you could hear the oof.
geez.
And the oof was the ground, not each other.
I'm about to say they left a divot.
Uh-huh. Everybody's corn fed out there.
So Abigail says high school should have NASCAR teams. You know, a lot of our teams around here, this is how redneck it is in the South. We have some of the teams have rodeo teams. Some of the schools have bass fishing teams, and some
We
of
do.
them have
Yeah.
skeet shooting teams.
We do. And rifle shooting.
Now we don't. Well, nobody has rifle shooting teams around here.
Yeah.
When I was going to high school, me and the principal used to compare rifles and shotguns we had hanging from the back window of the truck.
I
Yeah,
talked
and
to
you-
some of the A&M pistol team this past weekend too. He was at the gun show.
The Texas A&M pistol team.
Uh,
Cool, man.
I got a
I thought
customer.
they
that's
were-
got-
I
And
thought
I
they were on
found out-
the other side of the state.
no, they're about takes about an hour to get over there from my house. But I did find out something because I was talking to them and some guy that does something with the Olympics. I found out that I could qualify for the Paralympics because I got a missing finger. Yeah,
It's
but
not missing. It's right there. It's just a little shorter than the rest of them.
it's a little shorter, and that qualifies you for Paralympics.
Yep.
But my shooting wouldn't qualify me.
I've got a customer whose son goes to a local high school and he's got a full scholarship because of bass fishing. He got a full ride for bass fishing.
That's weird. I mean, it's great, but it's
That's-
weird.
Yeah.
I'm the assistant coach for our archery team.
There you go. Actually, I had a football coach teach me archery in the 6th grade. Shot with me at the end of or after class every day.
In junior high, we had our PE teacher was Coach Stepawani. He was a import from Poland, so we played soccer and floor hockey, and he would be on one of the floor hockey teams and literally beat you half to death. Seriously.
Yeah, we can't do ice hockey around here. It's a little hard to find ice.
Yeah, it is. If you did, it ain't lasting long. So yeah, next week I think we'll get back into the Smith and Wesson side and keep evolving into Smith and Colt. Tell us about that revolver you got behind you there, Six.
That's a Army San Marcos replica of a 1860 Colt Army.
It's a lot like a 73, ain't it?
Yeah, their grips are still about the same, I think. I think they kept the grips.
Longer on the 60. They're a little longer.
I can see that. Yeah, Abigail, hockey brings people together in a most violent way.
Yeah, we used to go watch the Atlanta Knights, and then they became the Thrashers. Used to go watch them play. We'd go to watch a fight, and a hockey game break out.
Yeah.
Slapshot was made in Johnstown.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming that's a hockey movie.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it.
Yeah,
Doing a slap shot. You doing that?
Filmed in a town close by you.
Yep. Well, where I grew up.
Okay.
it's a good movie.
Yeah, they were in the movie the Charlestown Chiefs, and in reality, it was the Johnstown Chiefs.
I've heard of that movie. I can't remember ever watching it, but
It's a funny one.
It's like the Happy Gilmore of hockey, or the it's like another takeoff of the Mighty Ducks.
They
That's
also
crazy.
filmed All the Right Moves, football movie in Johnstown.
Dang. Well, they filmed Guardians of the Galaxy 2 right here in my town. I went downtown to pay my water bill, and I noticed that the downtown area was pretty much shut off, and then all of a sudden explosions were going off and there was a car flipping. I was like, what the heck is going on? I actually think my minivan is in the movie. I was on the bridge when they were filming that scene.
You got a lot of talking raccoons in your town. Wow.
Not anymore.
there's a town. I mean, there's a house in this town that y'all would recognize if you saw it. Let me see if I can find it.
I got stuck in at a traffic corner. They blocked me off, wouldn't let me through. And about that time, RoboCop came by me. They were filming RoboCop 2.
Cool. Dead or
That was
alive.
it.
Coming with
He
me.
came and turned and went down the road, and they called cut, and that was it. So, y'all blocking all the traffic for that little bit of a video. And it was in a weird part of town, too.
Well, yeah, RoboCop 1 was filmed here in Birmingham. At Sloss Furnaces.
There's been a lot of movies filmed here in Houston.
Georgia has exploded as far as making movies and stuff. I mean, the whole series of Walking Dead was filmed down towards LaGrange.
Well,
Yeah.
the Hunger
Chico.
Games first one was filmed right up the road from me, and the second one was filmed down in Georgia. I'm not sure where, but
So Constantine was filmed here in
oh,
Rome.
cool.
There was a
Remember
movie.
the-
There was
Remember
a
the
movie
guy-
filmed about LaGrange here. Y'all might have seen it. It holds Dolly Parton in it.
Don't Georgia give like them a big tax break for filming in Georgia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is it right here.
Chico's out there. Hey, Chico.
Let me see.
And there's Crash.
Y'all have to tell me what this is. What was filmed here, because there's tourists come in here. And they want to see it. Let me get this ready to roll here. All right, you ready? Y'all seen that in anything?
Adam's family?
Was it the Addams Family house
I don't know, man.
or the Munsters?
I don't know, but it's there. I'm talking about, man, they stopped traffic when they filmed there,
Yeah.
and they apparently
You mean like here recently?
over the last decade, man. It's I'm looking to purchase my first 44 for my 44th time around the sun.
Mm.
Ruger Red Hawk.
There you go.
You lean towards a lever gun.
Yeah, you're going to end up with both, Chico. So just
Yeah, just suck it up. You only turn 44 once. It's your Hank Aaron birthday, dude. Do what you got to do.
and I do recommend a Henry when it comes to a lever gun 44.
Well, I would recommend the Marlin, new production from Ruger. I need to do a video on that gun, don't I?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Get her done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ozzy, it looks like the Addams Family, but he said they've been filming in the last decade. So
And it's on and off, guys. It's, you know, I mean, it'd be where it's right on the east end of the main drag, which is Turner McCall Boulevard, right there on I think it's East 11th. I ain't sure.
Good grief. A bunch of movies filmed over there, Jamie.
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama, Need for Speed.
I love that movie, Sweet Home Alabama. Need for Speed was filmed out on the bypass to nowhere. It goes from 27 South over to 20 West. It's supposed to be part of the perimeter, but they've not developed the land or anything out there, and they just shut off the ramps onto one end. So there's only one end, one ramp at each end on. And then there's two ramps on the other way. But anyway, yeah, it's that Need for Speed was done out there, and they were running wide open. It's about, I'd say, 4 miles of 4-lane divided highway, and at the time nobody was driving it. Now we see some traffic.
now it needs to be 6 lanes each way.
There's my buddy Garage Guy. Hey man, I got my stickers, dude. Thank you. I'm not sure about that one. How about it, Hillbilly? Was Driving Miss Daisy filmed in Georgia?
It probably was. I don't know.
I'll Google it.
Oh, that'd be somewhere where there's Piggly Wigglies.
That'd be Georgia.
Jamie, that house was filmed in Constantine was used for that house, it says.
That don't surprise me none. That was a pretty wild movie.
I love that movie. They're filming Constantine 2 now.
Driving Miss Daisy was primarily filmed in Atlanta, Georgia, with several key locations, including Druid Hills, known for its peaceful forest and historic homes, West Paces Ferry Road, notable for the scene where Hope teaches Miss Daisy to drive, Griffin and Sonoya, used for various street scenes to enhance realism. Those are very small towns. Macon and Savannah, additional filming locations for specific scenes. And 822 Lullwater Road, the address of Miss Daisy's house. These locations contributed to the film's authentic Southern atmosphere. Look, guys, there's places in Georgia where I mean, you get out of Atlanta, you go back in time 50 years at least.
Yep.
But let me ask y'all this. What famous Western person, Western hero, as we would call it, was born in Griffin, Georgia?
Clint Eastwood.
No.
Augustus McCrae.
No. Not a character, a real life human being.
In Griffin?
In
I
Griffin,
think it's
Georgia.
Audie Murphy, right?
No.
No, he was born in Texas.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. He was from Texas. Dang
Was it Roy Rogers?
No. Rebel, you got to know this, dude. Come on.
Doc Holliday.
Exactly.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, he.
Yep.
Yeah, in the movie he says he's from Texas. Yeah, or
No,
from,
he's from Georgia.
Georgia. I mean,
I guess that's why Val Kilmer had such a hard
A
time
very,
coming up.
very
with stuff.
green, very green place, Georgia. That's what he said.
It is, buddy, particularly this time of year.
Why, if
Yeah.
you weren't my friend, I don't believe I could bear it.
Ed Bailey. That's it.
Why, Johnny, I forgot you were there. You may leave now.
Chico got it.
Yeah, Chico, he picked it up.
Yeah, was it Scotsman?
George Jones. Welcome in, George. I got to tell you, back when I was a younger man, I hated George Jones because I absolutely adored Tammy Wynette. I was jealous. And yeah, she was way too old for me. But I knew Chico knew Doc Holliday.
Yeah, I was in the kitchen and my earmuffs wouldn't reach, and I heard you say that from a distance, and I come back in here and put my earmuffs on.
Dwayne 7834. He was born in Griffin. The family moved to Valdosta, and his dad started a business there. And it was in Valdosta, well, the outskirts of Valdosta, where he first got in trouble.
You got to work to get in trouble in the outskirts of Valdosta back then.
Yeah, Valdosta was just starting up. This was the 1850s or 60s.
Pre-Civil War.
But I could tell you all that story. Let me say this to Chico, brother. I have a Black Hawk in 44 special that's very special to me, and I have a Super Black Hawk in 44 Magnum. And I have the Marlin 1894 and 44 Magnum as well. You're welcome to shoot any and or all of them and decide if you like that kind of thing.
Are we going to have a 44 Magnum day, Jamie?
Well, it sounds like we need to. But
It'd be a good day.
what happened with Doc is there was a little, an African American young man. I shouldn't say an African American young man as much as I think it was more like a number of them, like 4 or 5, maybe 6, and they. I think one of them got shot and maybe died, and I think all of them were shot at. And apparently it was over the family's swimming hole, and they were told not to be there, and they were there anyway. And it gets hot here, but it gets even hotter in South Georgia. So
Oh, it's terrible.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But Doc had a temper, as we all know. And they moved to Valdosta. Then later they moved back because Doc's dad moved to Valdosta to start a business, and it didn't do well. Doc's mom's side of the family, and I can't remember their name, but they were very, very well off. And I don't know if y'all know this name, but there was a lady named Margaret Mitchell who wrote a very famous book, and she was a distant cousin of Doc Holliday and the Holliday family. And yes, George Jones, Smokey and the Bandit was filmed at least partially in Georgia, if not totally, but I think they went pretty much from Atlanta to Texarkana, Texas, right? 6
And back.
Don't remember exactly.
They went to get Coors beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I used to remember my uncles and them would have to drive to Colorado to get it because you couldn't get it in Texas.
Right.
Was that
But
cousin your cousin you were talking about, Jamie? Is that the one he refers to in the movie he had an affair with? And she joined a convent?
No, that was real. That was real life.
I know that.
Yeah, that wasn't the one that I was mentioning. Margaret Mitchell was in she wrote a book that became a movie in 1939.
That starred Clark Gable.
And Vivian Lee.
Yep. As God is my witness, I swear I'll never be hungry again. Nobody can get that, really?
Yeah.
I had it, but then it was just gone with the wind.
I was waiting on somebody to throw that one in there.
I
Frankly,
seen that
Kyle.
movie at the drive-in in the 60s.
The funny thing is, my parents went to see that when they were dating back in the early 60s. And back when movies were on reels, you know. And when she said, as God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again, that was the intermission. My mom and dad thought that was the end of the movie. They left. They were like, well, that ended weird.
Yeah. Sounds like
You know
something
what's
me and my
even
wife would do.
weirder? What's even weirder to me, Kyle, is you believe that story. They had other things to do.
I've heard it from both of them.
They left, Kyle. You didn't get it. They had other
What?
things to do.
Oh.
Throw him a picture, Mike.
No.
Ozzy said they used to drive to Missouri to get Coors,
To get what now?
beer.
No.
Hell, when I was in high school, I didn't know what Coors was.
Well, when I was growing up, we had to go to Oklahoma or Kansas to get Coors. I mean, I wasn't old enough to drink, but a lot of the grown-ups, they'd go to Oklahoma or Kansas to get Coors beer.
Coors.
Yeah.
We're talking about Coors. Damn, son.
They sell Coors around here.
Coors. Kerrs.
Don't they make potato chips?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Hillbilly down here, we say it like Coors.
Like,
Cores. Like, you know, when you buy a battery, you got to take the old one back to get your core charge back.
Yeah.
Garage Guy, we were talking about that earlier this week.
Y'all know Coors has a side business, and it's probably as big a business as their beer. They make ceramic stuff.
Really?
I'm talking about the hard stuff, you know.
Well, I wish they'd cut that out and spend more time working on their beer. Because a buddy of mine, I'm gonna write a book one day. It's gonna be called The World According to Crump. That's his last name. And somebody had brought Coors Light to a camp, and he took a drink out of it. And he said, "Boys, I know I didn't pay for this, but this ain't nothing but enzymes with a little bit of water in it." And you just can't argue with what he said. You know, it's enzymes with a little bit of water.
Yeah, but a Coors Banquet, that's a pretty good beer.
Well, that's just like I'm not a big Miller drinker, but on a hot summer day, a ice cold Miller High Life ain't too bad.
It's champagne, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if it's one of them little bitty bottles.
Yeah, I love that thing because you can go gug,
Champagne
gug.
beer.
When I was a kid, you go gug, gug, and that thing was gone.
Miller ponies, they call it.
Yeah,
Miller
buddy.
High.
Yeah.
We used to be riding motorcycles going down to Panama City, and you get down on that 2-lane road once you get off the interstate, and we just reach into the saddlebag going down the road and throw a pony bottle up in our helmet and just prop it up on the front of the helmet. Just stop it with your tongue and move your tongue and drink a little bit. Stop it.
Well, the pony bottles are famous for road signs.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, man, we used to hit road signs with empty quart bottles when I was growing up.
In Catawba County, we used to hit them with buckshot.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Catholic church that I was married in, their reception hall, the rule was only pony bottles for beer. No kegs, no regular bottles, just pony bottles. And by the end of that night, the place looked like a freaking recycling center.
Well, you deserve what you get. All right, time for the verse of the week. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do
This
it.
should be relatively quick and easy. This is commandment number 5. And this is the first 4 that we talked about. They're about how God's people should relate to him. Verse 12, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12, we get to the first commandment about how we relate to each other. Mm-hmm. And it's the first commandment with a promise, and it's about your parents. Honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. So I got a few notes from Mr. Guzik. The first command, the 5th commandment, these next, the last 6 commandments regarding our conduct before God and man. Honor your father and mother. This command is wise and good because honor for parents is an essential building block for the stability and health of all society. If the younger generations are constantly at war with older generations, the foundations of society will be destroyed. To honor one's parents includes to prize them, to care for them, to show respect or reverence to them. This command is given to children, but not for only while we are children. This one of the commentators there named Cole, C-O-L-E, he says that this is not a popular doctrine in our modern world, where youth is worshipped and old age is dreaded or despised. The result is the folly by which men or women strive to remain eternally youthful, only to find it an impossible task. Boy, that's a mouthful of truth right there.
Yes, sir.
You look at some of these older actors and Hollywood people, particularly some of the ladies, man, they've got so much work done that it's hard to recognize them. Anyway, I digress. That's off topic. So Jesus used the way the Pharisees interpreted this commandment as an example of how one might keep the law with a limited interpretation yet violate the spirit of the commandment. In Matthew chapter 15, verses 3 through 6, he answered and said to them, "Why do you also transgress the commandment of God because of your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. But you say, Whoever says to his father or mother, Whatever profit you might have received from me is a gift to God," in other words, Corban, "then he need not honor his father or mother. Thus you have made the commandment of God of no effect by your tradition." Jesus took us to another level in the Ten Commandments. He interpreted the spirit of God's law, and Dr. Guzik there says the spirit of the commandment. If you go by the letter, and we'll get more into this, the letter of the commandment or the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law as we go through these next few commandments coming up in the following weeks. That your days may be long. In Ephesians 6:2, Paul repeated this commandment, emphasizing the promise stated here, that your days may be long upon the land. Rebellion is costly, and many have paid a high price personally for their rebellion against their parents. Anyway, Ephesians 6:2 says, "Honor your father and mother," which is the first commandment with a promise. Trap there, another one of the commentators says, "A good child lengtheneth his father's days. Therefore, God promised to lengthen his." So the idea here is your parents took care of you when you were young and you couldn't take care of yourself. When they get old and they can't take care of their self, then it's expected of us to take care of our parents. And that's exactly what my wife is doing right now. That she's taking care of her mom. So that's what I have for the verse of the week. Any questions or comments? Now, I understand that some of our parents are less than godly people. And some of y'all may have had childhoods where it's very difficult to honor, but we got to remember that God expects it of us, and He promises to reward us with a long life here on earth if we're willing to obey Him in that. So to get that right, Bama Dad.
Honor them can be just as much as forgiving them for the things they did wrong.
Well, ain't nobody perfect.
If you grew up with abusive parents, forgive them. That's honoring them. That's what God expects out of you.
Yeah.
And for those that had mediocre parents, there's something good. You're here today. They got you here somehow, even if they failed as being a godly representative in your life. They took care of you. They fed you. They clothed you. They got you here.
They changed your smelly diaper.
Yeah. And if you've got parents that absolutely adored you and took care of you and loved you, you surely have no excuse. And it seems like in today's society, we see kids that they get to college and they forget how they were raised, the values they were raised with, and they literally will come out in public and talk bad about their families. That's hard for me to understand, to see somebody said, these kids that go on these things where Charlie Kirk is, and they say, they talk bad about their parents. I I don't agree with my parents. They were this, they're that, they're conservatives, they're Republicans, and I'm this, that, and the other. And they just change their whole life and throw everything out. And sooner or later, that'll come back. When they get to their parents' age, they'll be wondering why their kids are doing them the same way. That's why we have to honor our parents, because you break a curse over your family when you do that. And, you know, it won't tend to be repeated in future generations if you're the one that will make the change.
Right. It sets up a new way of doing things.
So that goes a lot deeper than just what people think it means. It's a spiritual concept as much as it is just being a good person.
Yeah, and you do have God's promise right there attached to it. It's not that hard to understand. So yeah, that was
heavy.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. But effective. Our verse of the week usually lasts longer, but you know that's pretty cut and dry.
It is.
Yep, they're not a whole lot of additions or subtractions. Like you said, it's black and white, short and sweet. It's right there. Here's what you do, folks.
Pretty much says it.
Yeah, that's when you look at it and you realize that's a commandment. That's not a suggestion. And as hard as it may be for some people to do, God expects it.
Yeah, I remember thinking when I was young how dumb my daddy was. You know, he got real smart by between the time I was 18 and 30.
Turns out he did know something, didn't he?
No, I think I taught him a lot. You know? That is the funniest.
That's hilarious.
No, my dad's a good old dude, man.
My dad used to make a joke that one week he was playing ball with me in the backyard, and the next week I was asking for the keys to the car because he was always working. He was always out flying. He was always out cutting wood. He worked, and that man taught me the value of hard work. In fact, he taught me everything I know: working on cars, welding, woodwork, plumbing, anything, everything.
I wish my dad beat my butt when he caught me with a wrench in my hand.
I talked about a little bit about all that in my video I put out Sunday.
The time we spent together was working. We never played ball in the backyard. I don't know where he got that. But yeah, I try to spend a lot of time with my son, not working, just to be a little bit different, a little bit better. But he also has learned the value of hard work.
There's G23 out there, y'all.
Hey, buddy.
Glenn Davis got an NOE mold yesterday. 182 grain for the 357 max. That'd be fine. He says later, I'm thinking I should have ordered a 170 grain.
Oh, and guys, I guess I need to apologize when we were talking about reloading equipment. And I said buy that NOE size and die where you can order the bushing separately, and that the bushings are like $9. I don't know where you're going to get those bushings now.
Yeah, it
That's a
was
six
kind of a
against
sad day. You know,
Yeah.
to hear that he was shutting down, but everything good comes to an end sooner or later,
Nothing's either too good or too bad for too long.
right?
Well, you can always get that Lee kit, that what I call the breech lock kit.
Yeah, I like the breech lock sizing dies. They work well for me
Yeah,
for
the
sizing bullets
ATP,
anyway.
It works great.
Is that kind of a takeoff on the NOE setup?
Do what now?
Is the Lee breech lock thing kind of like a takeoff of the NOE setup with interchangeable bushings and stuff? Or?
I
I think Lee was out there first. But I'm not sure. They both seem to show up pretty close to the same time. And NOE has an adapter that lets you use his bushings with the Lee setup, like to use it on the APP press and stuff. I've got that adapter set up.
That's what I use too.
I've just
I
been
think
buying
we
all
can get
the
an
Lee
APP.
stuff lately.
Did you get one of them, Ricky?
What?
Did you get one of them?
Which ones?
The NOE kits?
I have one. I've had it for a couple of years, but I've been buying all Lee lately.
Yeah, they work. They're pretty inexpensive.
They go on my APP press.
Yeah, they don't have as many standard sizes, but they'll make custom ones.
Right. Yeah, that was one big advantage of the NOEs. You get whatever you want in increments or decrements of
I've been
1,000,
seeing
you know.
quite a few increments on the Lees.
Yeah. And if you go to Lee's website and look at their list of available dies, when they do a custom job for somebody, they always do an overrun. And you can, like if you wanted a 453 and they only made a 451 or something, is I need 453. You go look, and a lot of times they'll have I think that's what they call them, overruns or overstock or something like that. They've got extras anyway when they make a custom one for somebody.
Well, they spend all the time retooling a machine to build one. Might as well build 10,
Right.
That's how I got a couple of mine that are, you would think it was odd, but they're what I wanted. For example, I think I've got a 324 or a 325 for 8mm. Anyway, we got to start going through the room.
Dang, this went fast tonight for me, guys. I don't know why.
Yeah. Give me a call, G. Give me a call tomorrow afternoon sometime. So, Vanessa Kitty, I hope you feel better, dear. I hope you. I hate you had to give up your driver's license. And Bulldog's got that too. All right, who wants to go first? You want to go first, Mark Thomas?
Sure. Just been great to be here this evening. Sorry I was a little bit late. We had a nice dinner out. Don't know what I've really got coming up this week. If I can, I'm going to get out to the range and shoot a little bit of 32 special. I loaded up this morning. We're back to school. So teacher in service for 3 days next week. And then we got some kids coming on Wednesday evening, possibly on Friday. And the following Monday, we're back to school. So back to busy times.
Bummer, dude.
Yeah, it is what it is. So thanks for having me. Great to see everybody. Great to see everybody out there to side chat. Let's, I guess, pass her over here to Kyle.
Thanks, Side Chat, for hanging out with us tonight. It was great. I don't have my phone on me right now. That's the only way I can type in the Side Chat. It was great to see everybody. Good to see everybody on the panel. I got to get my reloading bench cleaned off. Maybe we need to do on one of our Friday nights, let's do a reloading bench clean off live stream.
There you go.
We can all get organized as Walter is together.
I'm gonna need 3 nights.
I hear you, brother.
Or 3 weeks.
That's about what I got. Bama, what you got going on?
I need to do exactly what you're talking about, but I'm like Mark Thomas. It's going to take more than a show to get that done.
little more than 2 hours worth.
Yeah, buddy. It is. My reloading room has become a catch-all,
Yes, sir.
and it's got to be cleaned out because I'm ready to get some stuff done. So, but yeah, nothing much. I've got some pretty exciting days ahead of me in the next few weeks, but it has nothing to do with guns. I don't know if it's exciting or terrifying, but it's coming nonetheless. So if you got room on your prayer list, put me on it. I need it.
You got it, brother.
Other than that, not a whole lot to report. Six, what about you?
Oh, we got a video coming up in the morning. Got to finish reviewing it before I make it schedule it. But I really ain't got much planned, to tell you the truth. Got to work in my reloading room, stay ahead of my reloading. So that's about it. But you, Walter?
Well, once again, thanks as always for the invitation to come in here and participate in this wonderful room with good friends and fine folks on the side chat. It's always a good place for me to be on a Friday night. Coming up, I got some loading to do this weekend to take some stuff to the range Monday. I'm going to go shoot. And Monday over on the Rumble channel, we got another a Moldy Monday episode up there, and we'll have the second half of that big old behemoth wad cutter for 45 Colt coming up on Wad Cutter Wednesday this week out at the shooting range. And that's kind of it. I don't have any. I'm pretty well caught up on the casting and stuff. I still got a couple molds that I've never cast. I got to get after for too much longer. But other than that, that's going to be kind of smooth sailing for me next week. How about you, Mike? What's up? Hillbilly, what you got going on?
Oh man, we got Guns Bearing Therapy tomorrow night. 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. If y'all ain't done nothing, swing by and give us a visit. And then and basically just got some more gun content coming out. We got some bench rest stuff, some more AR bolt actions coming up also.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we got a 300 blackout. Well, we got 350 Legend. Now we got the 300 blackout and the 8.6 blackout. So
I was looking at that 338 on the website.
yeah.
A little arc, 338 arc. That intrigues me.
So anyway, thanks for having me, fellas. Really appreciate it. Always fun.
Thank you for being here, man. Link to Chad's show next
Yeah.
on the screen and in the side chat. What you got coming up, Brian?
I've got a video on the NOE bullet molds. I went on there and I picked up 2, and then I started thinking about another one, and I went back and bought a third one. So I picked up 3. They're the last I'll ever have new from NOE. So I made up a video on that one, and then I got a couple of 400 Legend bullet test videos coming out next week. And I think there's one other one coming in for fixing up a mold that was had some bad threads.
Go get your ball.
So I think that's in there. I just don't know the dates that they're going to be released because YouTube doesn't always tell me. I got them in and I got to wait for it. So, But I know I got a couple coming up next week. I think I got one extra one. So I'm looking on my Rumble to see what's up next, so that'll know what's coming up on YouTube. So that's it. I got a couple more ideas, a couple more videos to make. I got a couple more things going on. I still got a couple of things hanging. I got to get back to the range with the 458. I did get my extra parts in, and I did get a new thread adapter in, so I can maybe finally work on some subloads for that suppressed. So we'll see how that goes. So that's about it for me. Fishing tomorrow, so that'll be good. Get back out on the sound while we can. Summer's winding down. Get fish in the freezer. Jamie, what are you doing?
I got a ton of stuff I need to do. I've got more stuff to do reviews on. I got some really cool reload and die lock rings from this company that I need to do a review on. I also want to do another video on the D&T, the one. I really like that scope. One of our panel members has one on the way. I found out earlier, so I'm glad for that. I'm hoping I'm able to make a buy and keep the one they sent me. But anyway, I think I'm gonna do some test loads with some 270 and some 6.5 Creedmoor. And if y'all wanna see some of that, just let me know. Other than that, man, thank you guys for joining us on the panel. All you guys on the side chat, if you're still here, you're the troopers. Thank y'all for hanging with us so long. And the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We love you and ain't nothing you can do about it. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.